Welcome to Cooking Americana. Great food on a budget. Today's dish is St. Patrick's Day Irish stew. This is what you'll need and what it'll cost, and there is a link to a printable recipe in the video description. To feed 4 to 6 people is $14. Cut up your onions and quarter your mushrooms. Put all those in a bowl together and set them aside. Put some flour, salt, and pepper into a plastic Ziploc bag and kind of shake it up to combine. Preheat your oven to 300 degrees. Just shake it lightly. It doesn't need to be super shook. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add the meat to this flour, and we're going to coat it. I used pork. You can use lamb stew meat. And what I did was I got a full pork loin and cut it into chops. I had 8 thick chops, 5 thin chops, 1 pork roast, and this stew meat. So in the end, the stew meat probably cost me $2. But if you buy it at the store, it's going to cost you right around $3. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It will really help me in the algorithms. I'd like to get my recipes out to the world. It's quick, it's easy, doesn't cost you anything, and it really, really helps. Now, don't trust that Ziploc. I did that, and I ended up wearing some flour. Go ahead and add oil to your pan, about a tablespoon, maybe a little more. And you do half of the meat at a time, so you can do it in small batch because you want the sides to touch the bottom of the pan so that they get all nice and brown. And I usually would just stir this, but I use tongs on this mainly because I wanted to make sure that I got all the sides browned. Once you get it all done, remove the meat, set it aside, add a little bit more oil. Now you can add oil between the batches of meat, you might need to, but at the very end, add a little bit more oil because we're going to saute our onions and mushrooms. Now, we don't have to get these totally done. We just want them starting to get soft because we're going to cook this for quite some time, and so they'll finish cooking in the oven. Go ahead and add your beer. And let's scrape all those wonderful bits of meat that we left on the bottom that are stuck to the bottom of the pan. That's all flavor, and it's really good. You don't want to miss that. Add your broth and the meat and back into the mushrooms and onions. Stir it all in, put the cover on it, and put it in the oven. And bake it for 1 hour. The last 20-30 minutes of that cook time, go ahead and quarter your potatoes and cut your carrots. Now, I use those little petite carrots, but if you use full carrots, about a ½ inch chunks. Make sure you peel it. Now, we pulled that out of the oven. This is what it looks like. We're going to go ahead and add our carrots and potatoes and stir those in. Try to make sure you get those potatoes and carrots all into the liquid because that's what's going to cook these guys. And once you do that, just go ahead and put the top right back on and put it right back into your oven. You're going to cook it for another hour to an hour and a half or until the potatoes and the carrots are fork tender. Now, you don't have to do this. I like a thicker stew, so I went ahead and made a cornstarch slurry using about a couple tablespoons of cornstarch and a couple tablespoons of the broth. Shook it up, and then last 20 minutes or so, I added it to the stew and stirred it in and made the gravy thicker. And there it is. The last thing you're going to do now is you're going to go ahead and add that parsley. Just put it in there and stir it all up, and that's all there is to it. You don't have to cook the parsley anymore. The heat of the stew will cook it down. And there you have it, this wonderful St. Patrick's Day stew. Great for today. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today for this Irish stew. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really, really helps me out in the algorithms. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful St. Patty's Day, but as always, y'all have a blessed day.